As always.
Hey,
Facebook! Welcome to the Motivation Monday Show! So, we're back. It's a wet Monday. We hope you guys had a great commute. Not like me, I got rained on. Check the weather app before you leave in the morning.
I'm so sorry to hear that.
Thank
but you look nice and dry.
Thank
Thankfully,
you.
went home
And the
got
hair
yourself.
is a little shrinkage, but it's all good.
You look fabulous.
Thank
darling.
you.
Welcome everyone again.
Yes.
Happy Monday. We're excited to be back. We have an amazing guest.
Amazing.
You can see his book. He's a motivational speaker, youth empowerment king. We're gonna tap right into.
We're gonna get all up in his business.
We're gonna tap right into the weekend recap.
Weekend
How was your
recap.
recap?
My weekend. Yesterday. Oh, my weekend was great. I did me. I actually went to sightsee in Brooklyn.
What?
Brooklyn
in the house.
I had a good weekend for Jessica. I'm trying to do that more often.
Are you living or are you
Existing? Yes,
job.
that was last week's topic. And Keisha kind of, gave me a little shrug, like, listen, girl, we need you to get your you time in. And I feel great, actually, today.
Good. I'm happy
I don't
to
feel
hear
anxious.
that. That's good.
So thank you.
You're welcome.
Keisha, first of all, happy belated birthday.
Thank you.
Give me a hug. Oh, God's favor for you and your
Thank
establishment for us to continue. And you are here for a purpose. And you look damn good.
It's the 43 and gorgeous
Are you?
glow.
Shoot, I love the color.
Thank you.
Doesn't she look good? Someone said yes, she looks great.
Thank
Oh.
you. So I didn't turn up for my birthday.
Yes.
But I turned up for Grace Ann's birthday,
Grace
which was
Ann.
the day after mine. So
Yes.
I'm April 20th. Grace Ann, my dear friend, is the 21st. Why am I moving so much?
I don't know.
And
At
we
Grace Ann,
celebrated
why I didn't get
her on Friday. It was I just rested. There was an
rested.
event Saturday and an event Sunday. Thank you so much for supporting Level Up. And I went to rest.
Yes.
Rest was my turn up. It was wonderful. I enjoyed it very much. And thanks for the birthday wishes and all the love. Thank you.
Yes. So, we are back.
Oh, hey, Nicole.
We are back.
Hey, Renata.
Shout out some folks on
Yes.
Facebook, and I'll shout out some people on here.
Yep, got it. Done.
Okay. Big up yourself, Grace Sand, Strong BK, Debbie. These are our I don't say loyal, but they here every Monday.
No, they are loyal.
Yeah, they're loyal, right? And we have a gift for you guys coming up once we get that out of production because they deserve it. And we
Yes.
appreciate you guys always checking in.
Checking in. Absolutely.
Yes. And the watch party, did you tag me?
Oh,
Are you
sorry,
able
no.
to? Because I'm
Sorry.
doing Instagram today.
Sorry, Jess.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
All right, that's fine. It
Okay,
happens.
so we're going to dive right into our
Yes.
guest. We want to introduce to you
Yes.
a best-selling author,
Yes.
entrepreneur,
Yes.
motivational speaker,
Yes.
youth empowerment coach. Oh my gosh, it's Mr. Carl Michel!
Yes! Gary, please.
Oh, I'm knocking down
Oh, it's
books.
okay.
Yes. Ellen, can we do this intro again? It was so good. Because we have to go live.
Welcome.
You have a phone call. Oh, Money's
G
calling.
Money.
G Money,
That's
can
what
I
they call
get
my
Tell
some
G
money?
Money to come through. He should be around the corner. Tell him
G
to come
Money
through.
come through with the check.
Just swipe it over. It's
And
all
this is
good.
what a live show is about. We want to make sure his viewers see. So Gary's checking in.
Just swipe and accept the call.
Accept
no?
it and then end
other
it.
way.
That
There
way.
you go.
There we go.
And then
Oh, he hung up.
Oh boy. Yeah, we'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out.
Hey,
Okay.
Teresa. All right, so
Alright.
Mr. Michel.
Oh, he's all over the place.
Wait, hold
Good.
on. I want to help him out. Okay,
Oh,
boom.
there we go, there we
okay,
go.
now make sure we're
Yoo-hoo.
here. Wait, gotta make sure we're
He's
here.
there, he's
All
there.
right, hi, Instagram of the executive, right?
Yes.
So,
Big up
welcome.
yourself,
Yes.
young executive.
Young
It's
executive.
Good.
I can't believe you made it to
It feels
level
good to be
up.
here.
I know, like
This is
he's
amazing.
just doing
This is
great.
really dope.
I gotta get Keisha, and I know we don't.
Oh no, I'm here. I'm there.
What up?
I'm here.
We are here on the Motivation Monday show. So welcome.
Yo, feels good to be here.
Thank
Look
you
at
so
this.
much.
I'm motivated. It's Monday.
Yes.
Ooh.
I'm in a black-owned business.
Yes.
This is amazing just to be here. So congratulations on for yourself for leveling up.
Yes,
And happy
thank
belated
you.
birthday as well.
Thank you.
So I'm in the midst of two queens, and it feels good to be here.
Thank you so
Thank
much,
you.
King. We
Where
appreciate
else
you.
could a young king go to find queens?
And
Queens.
Do you see why he's so
I
dope?
like that.
Like, am I blushing?
I love
don't
his
know.
energy.
Yes, and
What
he
up, what
definitely
up?
complimented
And
me
he
in my hair.
smells really
Absolutely.
good too.
Keep the compliment coming. Keep it coming. Yes.
I see this is going
man.
to turn out to be a fun show.
Absolutely.
Yes.
So listen, I want to ask my big question.
Yes.
Okay, yes.
Mr. Young Executive,
Mm-hmm.
what is your why? Why did you start being the person that you are today, leading full force,
Yes.
with energy, with respect, with love for others?
Ooh, I
Yes.
love that.
Means a lot.
Please,
All right.
because you got to be
Energy,
a
respect,
servant
and love.
leader.
Yes.
Be the change you want to see. My reason why is I never had a me growing up. You know, I was blessed to have both parents in my life.
Ooh, okay.
It's on low. But I was blessed to have both parents in my life. My dad set a great example of leadership, of love, of loyalty, of work ethic, and just being a family man. But I didn't have an example of success. So my reason why is to, one, become successful in order to be the example.
Yes.
Be the change that I want to see in my family, in my community, on television. Just flat out great example of what it is to be a young king. That's my reason why. Yo, I'm gonna bring y'all everywhere I go because this feels good.
Trust me, we can
We
work
don't- we want to go on
music,
tour.
everything.
Right, Keisha? We want to take our show on tour, so that's in the
Listen,
universe.
that right there is very impressive.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You know, well said, and it rings true to most of us out there. We want to see the change, and we become the people that we want to see
It's a
that
fact.
change
Absolutely.
the world. You're not just
right.
changing Queens or your community.
Right.
You're changing
The world. Yep. Yep.
You're shaping out young minds. You're shaping out. Oh, that's G-Money?
Yes, G-Money.
Go get him. You're
G-Money, cut the
shaping-
check.
You're shaping those young
Yeah.
kings
Yes,
and queens.
yes.
And that video, I
Oh,
tagged
yep,
some of
yep,
the
yep.
kings in my circle.
Please tell our viewers about the video because they're not sure.
You didn't see it?
No.
This video had a young prince. He was emotional, and the team around him, his friends around him, was comforting, was loving. I tell you, children, oh my gosh.
yep.
It spoke volumes, but I want you to set the scene up for us because
Thank
I
you.
wasn't there.
So, I am an author and a motivational speaker, so I literally just go all over the country speaking, usually in schools or conferences and different things like that. So I've been doing like a school tour, and I was in New York, in the Bronx on this particular day, PS 483, if I'm not mistaken. Shout out to y'all. It was an amazing school. They had great staff, great faculty, great principals, great assistants, great parent coordinator, and great students. There were a group of third graders sitting on the floor, and then there was also a seventh grade group that was sitting in the audience, in the room as well. And all I basically do is share with them my story and incorporate hip hop quotes in it. And they don't get a perspective like that anywhere else in the world. And the beautiful thing is I'm local to them in New York, so I'm able to come in and they get to see for themselves someone who started off on the wrong track and made it to a level most people would consider success.
Right.
So this young king, we're talking about toxic relationships. We're talking about stop hanging out with negative friends and start hanging out with positive friends. We're talking about no matter what is going on in your household, in your neighborhood, or just around you in general, you can be successful, believe in yourself, have faith. You can do anything that you want to do. And by the end of the presentation, the young boy just starts crying.
Wow.
And you know, I was passing out books at the time, and the principal called it to my attention. He wasn't crying because he was sad. He was crying tears of joy.
Wow.
And that was just such an amazing experience that words and my personal story can affect a young prince so much that it brings him to tears of joy.
Wow.
You know, and at that moment, I always teach the young kings and queens, treat your brothers like kings, treat your sisters like queens.
Right.
So as I'm there comforting the young prince, all his classmates just start hugging him.
Viral
I'm
video, honey.
I'm like, yo, this is amazing.
Wait a minute. So
Viral video.
Yeah.
you're there sharing your experience, and this is what I always tell people. not only to pay it forward, but tell a story. Storytelling is amazing. It's life-changing, right?
It is.
Now, this young boy will never forget this moment for the rest of his life. Not
Never.
that it went viral, but that innate experience. May not have this father figure, may not have a big brother. And I guess what I'm segueing is, why are you that big brother for these children? And you could have done corporate training, you could have done millennials, and I'm sure you do those things, but why youth empowerment? I'm looking at your shirt. Could we please see this shirt?
Yes.
The Youth Empowerment Show. This is big because a lot of people don't have the patience for the youth. Now, I did a charter school run teaching these kids, and a lot of them were just like,
Hard work.
and I'm just like, wait, okay, take a deep breath, Jessica. You know, why them, and why do you have where do you possess the patience?
Why
Carl?
not? Why not them? You know, if it's not the youth, then who's going to pick up the torch?
That's right.
I
So
was hoping you said that.
to answer your question,
Yeah.
I learned from the great Tupac Shakur.
Okay.
Tupac says, "I'm not saying I'm going to change the world, but I guarantee I will spark the brain of the person that does."
Wow.
So what I'm doing is providing that spark. Everywhere I go, I'm not saying I'm going to change your life, I'm going to change the world, but I will provide that spark. If I walk in that room and you don't believe in yourself, by the end of this conversation, you will
I wish
believe
I could
in
knock
yourself.
this. We're not allowed to.
That will be the spark you need. You know, I don't know what your career path is going to be. I don't know what book you're going to write. I don't know what cure for a disease you're going to find. I don't know what occupation you're going to go into. I don't know what you're going to do, but I know that you can do it. And I'm here to tell you that you can.
Right.
And because I made it from where I was to where I am, I'm a living example. And when I show them that living example, they believe in themselves, thus providing that spark.
Wow.
So I have a question. Thank you for sharing that piece, because now it leads up.
Can you end it and then share it? So because I don't want the phone to
The
die
phone to
before
die.
it.
Oh, I see
You
what
feel
you
me?
mean. Yes.
So my question to you is, what is the story that you shared with the
That's
young
what I
kings
wanna
and
know.
queens
Yeah.
at
Great question, Keisha.
the Bronx school?
Right.
So what I do, because I learned from experience. I never actually had formal training on speaking.
That's what I was going to ask you.
Yeah, I never actually had formal training on speaking. I learned from, I had a mentor. His name is Mr. Darnell Self.
You were just taking my questions. First of all, let me ask my questions, please. This is what I get paid the big bucks to do.
So multi-millionaire,
Wow.
but he looked like me.
Yes.
He set a great example of having a wife and children, leading a major corporation. He had like literally thousands and thousands and thousands of people under him in his organization. But he led the way for me, and he provided a great example of success. You know, I'm not sure if you're familiar with Robert Kiyosaki, but he wrote a
Yes.
book called Rich Dad Poor Dad.
Yes.
You know, and
Very, very
again,
popular
never to take anything away from my father, because I would never, want to disrespect him, because
Right.
he's just an amazing example of what a man is. He taught me a lot of things as far as life is concerned, but my rich dad, or Darnell Self, if you will, he taught me a lot of things as far as business is concerned. So I was blessed to have both of those men in my life to shape me, to mold me. So I got the morals and I got the financial principles all in one.
Right.
You know what I mean? I forgot the question that you asked me,
Oh,
but
Keisha, so,
Well, no.
right. So
no,
she
you-
wanted
you-
to know what your story, like, what do
oh,
you,
yeah,
what do
yeah.
you share?
So,
Right.
I never got formal training. I learned from Darnell Self as far as what a speaker is, but what I've been doing is literally showing them a picture of where I used to be and where I am today. You know how they do the 10-year challenge?
Yeah.
So I show them my 10-year challenge. Like, this is me in the hood, rocking, a hoodie and a fitted
Right.
and J's or whatever. And this is me in a business suit. And
Okay.
I make it clear that it's not about the clothes, because we're not stereotyping.
Correct.
Right.
It's about my mindset. It's about who I became in the process.
Nice.
So I break down my journey of how I got from my left side to my right side.
Good.
I also provide different examples of other men and women who went from a left side to a right side. So if you remember Malcolm X,
Yes.
Malcolm X was on the left side. He used to rob people. He used to literally
Right.
break in people's
Right.
homes
Right.
and rob them. He went to jail, and that's when he converted to the Nation of Islam, and that's how his
That's
journey
how,
began.
okay.
Yes.
I'm not
So
familiar.
I showed them Malcolm X's left side to his right side. I show them Jay-Z's left side to right side. Jay-Z went from selling drugs to being a business mogul, approaching $1 billion as far as net worth.
Right.
You know what I mean? People like Cardi B went from dancing to Grammys. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
there's so many examples. So basically, with him, I show them my left side and my right side, and I ask them to evaluate where they are, even at a young age. You know, he's looking at the people around him. He's looking inward to himself. You know, am I living up to my full potential?
Right.
So I'm not exactly sure what moment it was for him.
Right.
It could be he's dealing with a lot of things at home. It could be him wanting to change the circle of his friends. It could be him dealing with bullies. I don't exactly know.
Right.
But I know that I came in at the right time.
And that's what I love.
Right.
That was available to him. Keisha, before we go to the next question, I do want to let everyone know that this is interactive. Please send us a message on IG and also on Facebook. And of course, to share the video, because this is so important. This is why this platform is here to uplift, empower, and that's our foundation: uplift, empower, and inspire, and bring resources to the table.
Talk about it.
Because you know we go back and forth with viewership, right? A positive program, you know, shows like PBS are losing funding because everybody's looking.
They're not looking for that. They're looking for
an
more,
escape,
you
the
know,
twerking, the this, the
gossip,
chains,
the
right?
shade. You know, they're looking for that.
You know,
That's
and you know, with the whole Nipsey Hussle thing, I think a lot of the time we celebrate people when they're gone.
Yes.
And it's a problem for me in our community. And so, you know, someone like you, on the caliber that you are, you're still going down to, and I don't want to say going down to the school level, like it's nothing, but still giving back to your community.
Oh, yeah.
What keeps you going on, Carl? What motivates you? If you can give us one word, you told us what your why was. That's different. Why do you wake up every day with the battery in your back? It's hard for us entrepreneurs to keep going.
True.
You know, give me one word that motivates you right now.
That's easy. That one word is legacy.
You know what? I may have found my co-host for May.
Yeah.
Because this one, we'll talk about that
off air.
So legacy.
I got excited.
Legacy is the big
God.
thing for that. So there's two things I want to say in regards to legacy.
Please.
First, I'll quote Beyonce. She just dropped, what's that, Homecoming?
Yes.
So quote Beyonce. She says, "My great-great-great-grandchildren are already rich."
Yes.
Right?
Very
So
true.
if we want to talk about finances, we're talking about 25, 50, 100, maybe even 300 years of a generational curse, right? A lot of people in your family, down to your bloodline, up to, like, since we've been in this country, a lot of people in your family, more than likely, are not wealthy.
Nope.
True.
So that makes me know that I need to be the one to create and then pass down the wealth. The scripture says a wise man leaves an inheritance for his children's children. So that's what I want to make sure I provide, a greater financial start for my next generation. But wealth doesn't mean money all the time. It's not monetary.
Thank you
know what I'm
so
saying?
much. We
So-
talk about
That's
that
good.
here.
That's good.
So
Yeah.
I wanted to write my book in a way that it could be timeless.
Okay.
Now you're passing down mental wealth, you know, spiritual, emotional, physical wealth. You know, like all of these things are what I believe in. It's legacy, 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 legacy. And you know, just providing a great example. The second one, of course, is that Tupac Shakur quote that I mentioned earlier, is to be that spark. Be that spark. That's going to change the world. So I'm not even close to scratching the surface of the amount of people that I want to reach and the legacy that I want to leave. So I got a lot of work to do.
You have a lot of work to do. We are here to
Nice.
see this transpire. You said international bestseller.
Absolutely.
Number one. He didn't say, y'all said this, right?
yes.
That's right.
Thank
Statistics
you.
don't lie. Numbers
Thank you.
don't lie. This book is hefty. It's not a flimsy book.
Yes.
When did you
Full packed.
Yeah, when did you
Yes.
produce this book?
So it was December 28th, 2015. I released it at 1 p.m. on Amazon, the digital copy.
Okay.
By 7 p.m. that evening, it hit number 1 in 2 categories.
Whoa!
You know what I'm saying?
Congratulations!
Thank you.
Wait, hold on. First of all, we're gonna talk offline. 'Cause
Wow.
I mean,
This is
this is
dope.
obviously, guys, guys, you can see this is a black man here on the cover.
It is.
And I say that, and the marketing, the tie, everything makes sense. Here is a book that is supposed to inspire, uplift you 365 days of the year. Am I correct?
Absolutely, yeah.
Hip hop quotes. We listen to music every day.
Yes.
Very smart. Very smart. And this book is for everyone.
Everyone.
The corporate guy.
Yep.
The person that's lost in this world trying to find themselves. I want you to pick your favorite. And
Don't do me like that. Don't do me like that.
While you think about it, while you think about it, I want to ask this question. I see here a quote from Dougie Fresh, right?
Yes.
Phenomenal, historic legacy in the music
Pioneer,
industry,
yep,
right?
absolutely.
Hip hop is supposed to uplift and create, to educate people on a larger level, and to make a change. Now,
That's
do
it
you
right there.
do you think that hip hop is doing that right now?
Well, that's great. That was a great question.
Hey, Phyllis.
Hey, we'll
have a
check
lot,
in.
yes.
We'll check in some people.
The short answer to that is yes.
Okay.
I do believe hip hop is doing that. Change doesn't necessarily always mean a good thing.
Correct.
But hip hop is the biggest influencer ever. It's not just music, it's culture.
Okay.
You know, hip hop influences how we walk, how we talk, how we dress, the things that we say and the things that we
Big.
do. So
Big
it
influence.
is a huge influence and it brings change. If it's good or bad, determines on the person.
Okay.
Carl,
So-
I feel like you're holding back right
So
now.
here's the deal.
Come on.
There's a quote on the back. Let's read that quote.
Let's
as
read
well.
this quote. Come on.
All right. So the quote on the back is pretty much the theme of the book.
Okay.
KRS-One says, if hip hop has the ability to corrupt young minds, it also has the power to uplift them.
True.
So a lot of people say, oh, hip hop is bad. There's a lot of negative stuff, which is accurate.
Today's hip hop.
Yeah.
Can we
Which
be
is
clear?
accurate.
Come on,
Today's.
Carl.
It's very accurate. There's not enough balance in hip hop, you know. And unfortunately, the people who have the biggest message don't have the biggest bank accounts.
Okay.
They don't get supported as much, and they don't get pushed as much. But there's an agenda behind everything.
Okay.
Correct.
I like
know?
that you said that.
So you have to seek out.
I was coming.
You literally have to dig and seek out the artists that are making a positive change.
Okay.
We don't see them.
And they're drowned out by the ones that.
Yes, they are.
Yes.
But let them finish
But,
this thought, 'cause
Yeah. No,
they
it's
are
not.
drowned out by the ones that are not making a positive impact.
Mm-hmm,
Because I listened by accident to one I will leave unnamed, and I was like, next. I was like, whoa.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So even with Nipsey Hussle, I did not know him for his music. I knew him for his work in his community. Then I went after his passing. I said, let me go listen to his music. Racks in the Middle. I was like, oh, okay. Then I started getting to the groove of it. You know what I mean? However, sometimes coffee, sometimes tea. I will not listen to a headbanger rock music every single day if it's not doing anything to uplift me. So we have to be careful of what we choose to internalize. Would you agree?
Yeah, absolutely. So the reasons that I created the book are the exact things that we're talking about now. When I turned on the radio, all I heard was destructive messages.
Right.
They talk about disrespecting women, sex, drugs, money, violence. Same message, different beat, right? Every time you heard the radio, it says. So what I wanted to do, instead of trying to counteract or what I wanted to do is make sure I highlighted the positive things that the biggest influencers have said.
Good.
Instead of trying to compete with the influence of Drake, why not highlight the positive things that he said?
Good.
Okay.
Right.
So there's
'Cause
a
he has said
spin.
positive.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you saw something. I see what you're doing here. Now, all right. So for those of you who don't know the book, so there's a quote, there's a line, right,
Just
of a
quote
lyric.
from an artist. My motivation.
What do you now? Where does your part come in now? How do I?
So the quote is from the particular artist.
Okay.
The body of the page is my motivation,
Okay.
and then there's a daily affirmation on the bottom.
Wow.
Yes,
You
and I'm
know,
looking at the
so-
one for today. If you were to,
Oh, yeah,
so April
yeah.
22nd, it's titled "Stack Chips" with a lyric from Wyclef Jean. I'm cheap and I'm proud of it.
Yep.
When the Fugees were big, we made a whole lot of money, and what happened was that I saved my money and never spent it. Those are wise words.
Mhm,
You know why?
absolutely.
Because we are not, never see come see, as we in Jamaica would say. We make so much money, and when we're not used to it, and then we squander it. And the resources that we are able to tap into to help us to save it, we don't take advantage of it. Even if we bring it to you in front of you for free.
Right.
We said, chop, no want that. I'm gonna buy my big house, big car.
Yep.
So I definitely, this is a good one.
Yeah.
This is a very good one, and I know they're all good.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Thank you for even providing
Yeah.
this
is
book for
Yeah,
us.
thank you.
All ages can read it. It's a
All,
very
and I'm looking at that. All
There's an
ages.
index in the back,
There's
too,
an
so-
index in the back. I mean, this is well put together.
thank you.
And now you're saying that you're the young executive. Now
Yes.
this is one part of your revenue stream. This passive income that you're doing. So we talked about motivational speaking. You're an author.
Right.
All right. What else are you into? And how can someone else that's watching? Because I know some people that are watching. I know them personally. They want to start a business.
Yep.
How do they get involved in ownership?
That's a great question. So,
Yeah.
and the last thing I do is I'm an executive producer of a show called The Youth Empowerment Show.
Yes.
So
Okay.
I'm
Yes.
always representing my own brands, the young executive on my
Yes.
hat. So I want to rewind a little bit to what
Okay.
you said, passive income.
Yes.
Sometimes, words like that, you hear them often, but it kind of goes
Goes
over your
over your
head.
head, yeah.
So passive income is, or residual income is doing something one time and getting paid for it over and over and over again.
Okay.
I'm blessed because Amazon, Barnes & Noble, they still send me a check every single month for work that I did 3 years ago.
Okay.
You know what
Awesome.
I mean? I sell out pretty quickly, and it's a great problem to have.
Yes.
Every time I order a new shipment of books, they're gone very, very fast.
Okay.
So
Because it's worth it. People see the value.
Yes.
thank you. So residual or passive income is doing something one time and getting paid for it over and over again.
Listen to this,
You want to
okay.
create something that could be considered timeless. Nipsey Hussle, we mention him a lot of times, and we probably will mention him more.
Correct.
He created music that was timeless. He created businesses and provided opportunities that are going to go on long before him.
Yep.
And that's why he called his brand the Marathon.
Marathon, yeah.
He specifically said, "I don't want the money to stop when I go." The marathon continues.
Continues.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I didn't want to go over that. Go past that part
Right.
without rewinding on it. So, as far as businesses are concerned, I always say, whatever it is that you love so much that you would do it for free, do that for a living.
Very,
A
very.
Can you say
lot.
that one more time? please?
Whatever it is that you love so much that you do it for free, do that for a living.
Okay.
Too many people say, "I want to do this to make money."
Money.
Correct.
That ain't it.
I'll be telling them.
Biggie Small said, "Stay far from timid. Only make moves when your heart's in it, and live the phrase, sky's the limit."
Hey.
Only make the move when your heart's in
In
it.
it.
If you just want to rap because you heard rappers make money,
The bling
That's
bling.
not
you're not gonna last
Yeah.
long enough
Not
to make
even
the
be
money.
Probably a one-hit
You're gonna
wonder.
you're gonna burn out
If
because
that,
you're gonna be
yeah.
so. What happens when nobody calls you?
Right.
How do you prepare for that? I don't think a lot of entrepreneurs are transparent enough about. There's days when your phone doesn't ring.
True.
and you got to go out and get
And
it.
get it.
You gotta
Thank
go out.
you.
Yes.
It
If
does
you-
not come to you.
If you don't love the thing that you're doing, when moments get rough, you're gonna quit.
Yeah.
You're gonna give up, or you're just gonna be too lazy enough to make an impact.
This is so
So when you love something so much, you'll do it for free. That means once you get really good at it, and then you get paid a lot of money. And I say this not to brag, because I don't want to impress you, but I do want to impress upon you how serious things can be when you operate with a purpose.
Wow. Wow.
I heard it first from Mr. Michel right here.
I used to work at a job for 3.5 years just for the paycheck.
Yeah.
I would travel about an hour one way and an hour back. So I was, 2-hour commute every day, almost 100 miles a day in my car. It was torture.
Oh my gosh.
I would get paid just enough to pay my bills and live for that week. I was paid literally paycheck to paycheck. And I was sitting in a cubicle for 3.5 years, miserable. And fast forward to present time. Again, I'm not trying to brag, but the fact of the matter is, I've gotten paid more for a 45-minute speech than I used to make a month
Wow.
doing that commute at my job.
Wow.
You know, it depends on, you know, certain times it's been more than I've made 2 months at that job.
Wow.
You know, so it wasn't always that way. It started off with me speaking for free.
Right.
Right.
And
I was gonna say that. Please tell the people. you
yeah,
try.
it's a grind, but still to
Yeah.
this day, I'll still do stuff as a volunteer. You know what I mean? I'll
Right.
still speak because it's in my heart to do it. You know what I mean?
That's what we're talking
just because you make a great amount of income doesn't mean you still won't do stuff for free.
Right.
LeBron James makes an incredible amount of money, but he still will do charity and
walk
still
in.
come out for
Right,
free.
right.
He'll still speak and do things for free.
Right.
But so I still do things for free because it's in my heart to do it.
Right.
You know what I mean? But if I was just doing it for the money, I would have quit a long time ago. When I literally had no money in my bank account, or my account was negative, and I would still travel, you
Yep.
know, over an hour just to speak to
That sees your
a
heart
few
when
youth
you do
and hope that I made an impact, or hope somebody buys a book or two.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So now it's to the point where I'm getting paid so much. I'm like, wow, this is crazy.
That's
So I'm
amazing.
Kudos to
starting.
you.
I'm starting
Yeah.
to get everything that I prayed for, and
That's
it's a huge
it.
blessing.
And that's the thing. And when you put it out there, you got to be ready to claim that.
claim it.
Absolutely.
Keisha?
So I want to go to some of our viewers. Tanisha Jacobs says, very uplifting, great idea, speaking to the masses with the hip hop quotes
Thank
that
you.
inspire and uplift.
Thank you, Tanisha.
Nicole says, music transcends beyond culture. Very smart way to teach the mass.
Thank you. Thank you.
Tanisha says, that was genius. You were speaking of the, your book.
Right.
So
Thank you.
Tanisha also says, I will support and put the word out.
Thank you, Tanisha.
Thank you,
Absolutely.
ladies.
The homies.
Thank you.
Thank you
And,
for joining. Let me just run through a roll
Go
call.
ahead.
real
Roll
quick.
call. Let's do a quick roll call.
Phyllis,
Gary,
Rudy,
what
My
time?
battery's dying too. Janae, Juliette Sinclair.
What up, what up,
Mom.
what up?
Oh, hey,
Hey.
Mom.
Hey,
How
Mom.
you doing, boo?
Shireen, Camille, Denise, Chloe, Ludlow, Roderick, Chloe came back, Michael, and Candace. We have 5
What's
Thank
going
you
on? What's
guys.
going on?
And also from IG, we have Rick Star. Oh, Rick Star from
Yes, the real word.
The Real, yes. We have Thomasina and Diane Event Space. Oh, hey,
Oh, hey,
Amber.
Hey.
Amber Taylor. She is a makeup artist. So thank
What up,
you
what up,
guys.
what up?
Yeah, some new viewers. And I have a comment here, and I think I'm trying to understand. The person says, lesson, I will, could you rewrite this? I will
Listen,
make more.
money because I ain't for it for
Free-
free
no
no
more.
more.
So I guess
Oh,
she-
okay, yeah. She will make sure she makes money. She doesn't want to do stuff for free no more.
Right. I
And
guess
that's
at
cool.
what point do you say enough is enough? I think that's something that, like you said, the traveling,
Mm-hmm.
even if it's just, can you just pay for my transportation?
Right.
People need to learn how to advocate for themselves. And I
True.
teach these things. You have to say, hey, it's free, but hey, could you at least pay for my transportation? So maybe that will work for her.
So here's the deal.
know?
I had to learn this. Because a good buddy of mine pointed out to me because I was charging people at home a lot of money. And I started to get according to my friend, he was like, yo, you don't want to get a reputation of being all about the money, especially
Okay.
when you're doing this type of work, right? So what I had to learn was the difference between a profit project and a passion project.
Okay.
So once you're good at your craft, you should be getting paid for it. You should
Absolutely,
be
I
compensated
agree.
for
Yes.
your craft. Whatever it is. If
Absolutely.
it's makeup, if it's cutting hair, if
Right.
it's speaking, if it's whatever, right? People just have this assumption that you're supposed to do everything for free, but
I
you're
don't
not.
get it. And
No.
is it, do you find that it's more in our community?
Absolutely not.
I just see it's just people in general. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I don't want to necessarily label it just for people in our community, but the thing about it, for me, there's some things that you do out of the goodness of your heart,
Right.
but it shouldn't be everything.
Correct.
It shouldn't be
You know
everything.
what I mean? So there are projects that I get paid a lot for, and there are projects that I still, would do things for free. So you just have to learn to separate it. You don't do things to the point where you're getting kicked out of your home because you're not taking care of bills. So
Right.
still, if you declare like, hey, I'm only doing one passion
Yes.
project a month, and everything else is paid, then that's what it is. Hey, I'm not available this month,
Right.
but you can contact me anytime between boom, 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 if that's how you want to make it work. But don't do everything for free.
Don't do
get
everything
yours.
for free. Get yours, especially if you have a staff. What does your staff look like? Is this a one-man show?
You talking about for me?
Yes. Do you have a manager?
yeah,
Do you have
yeah.
a publicist? And when did you develop these?
No, I
segments?
got a team of about 20 people.
20 people?
Yeah, so that they help me with
Wow.
the youth empowerment show. It's a full production. So
Okay.
the next live show is May 4th, by the way.
Oh,
Okay, so
Good. So give us the details.
Oh, yes,
How to
yes.
contact you, your everything after.
Do right now? Okay, after. Okay,
when
so
you finish.
so yeah, I have a
So you
team.
have a
I have a
team.
staff of about 20 people that just assisted me with different things. Meek
Okay.
Mill says, "Build a team that won't bump heads when you huddle. Build a team that won't bump heads when you huddle. You need to have the right people in place in your organization. You cannot do every single thing.
You're right.
So,
Very true. I'm learning that.
I forget the exact quote. If you want to go fast, you go alone.
Oh yes, if you wanna,
if you
yes.
wanna
Yeah, if you want to go
win
far, you go
far, you go with a
right.
go
team.
together.
Go
so
with a team,
so
right.
make
Have your
sure
team in
you
place.
you have the right people in place. People that are aiming to be the best at what they do and see your vision. Okay, so it's important that you see my vision, but you don't have to be as gung-ho about it as I am.
Right.
If you're the web designer, be the best web designer. If you're the sound tech, be the best sound tech. And by you striving to be the best version of yourself, you're helping the whole team win.
Right, right.
So I can't be the website guy, the
It's
sound guy, the
hard.
director,
I
the
am.
host.
No,
You got
that's
you
challenging.
got to learn to delegate and also leverage your time.
True.
It's so
Well,
important.
time is
Burn out
everything.
quick.
That's
Yeah.
the thing.
You'll burn
So
out quick.
other people, other races, they learn to leverage.
Yes.
We learn to work.
Work.
Yeah.
But they learn to leverage. They're in charge of everything, but they have 100 people. Oh, so J. Paul Getty, a big major key I'm about to drop for you. J. Paul Getty, the owner of Getty Oil,
Getty. Yeah.
he says, I would rather make 1% off of the efforts of 100 people than make 100% off of my own effort.
Yes.
So-
That's the mindset right
Yeah.
there.
That's
That's
leverage.
the mindset to
It
win.
has to- I
You
mean,
burn
it's not
yourself
for
out so
everyone.
quickly by trying to do everything
Everything,
yourself.
That's leverage.
And a lot of us do that. That's
And I
why
mean, we do Keisha because we don't have that income yet. I think
Yeah,
a
but
lot
you
of
gotta
people do
leverage.
it, but
You gotta
a lot of people
leverage
don't
for something
barter
else.
the right way
it's not
and
all
stuff like
about
that.
this. You
Yeah.
gotta learn how to barter.
Because you
So-
started out somewhere, and
Yeah,
now you're here.
absolutely.
So I'm sure you were doing most of
Absolutely.
it.
But leverage is what
leverage
puts
is
yourself in an
everything.
executive
Okay.
or a boss position.
Perfect.
So Shireen Hibbert says, great information. Information is key.
Yes.
Unlearn to relearn. Our children deserves a legacy.
Yes, that's
Yeah.
a fact. That's a fact.
So thank you for that, Shireen.
Yes, thank you. And thank you to everybody also on Instagram right
Yes,
now.
yes. What
We
up?
have some new viewers, and we're so
Welcome.
grateful for that.
So tell the people where they can find you.
Yes.
Okay.
Your email, how to find your book, how to reach out if they want to book you
Yeah.
for a speaking engagement. We will definitely be sharing this video with principals
Yes, please
of
do.
the high schools
Yes,
and
yes.
the PSs. So
All of
please,
them. PSs,
yes.
MSs.
I'm gonna need my
yeah, everything. Listen,
You didn't
every-
hear that.
Oh yeah,
everything.
I was gonna say booking agent over here.
Yeah, I'm gonna need my
Get that 1%.
Yeah.
I like that. Got you. I got
Of
you.
100 of y'all.
So everything is at my website, www.youngexecutive.com. YOUNGEXEKUTIVE. That K stands for King. That K
Wow.
stands for Kappa, and so many other things. That K stands for. So yeah, but treat our brothers like kings and our sisters like queens.
Amen.
And to answer your question, there's so many different quotes that I have. I'm trying to think
For
of
the
a great
favorite.
one to
Yeah,
read
the
you.
one that you really
So-
Leave us with a gem here.
So, since Beyonce dropped her Homecoming, I'm gonna quote Jay-Z and Beyonce just as a fair for the men and the women. Oh, you know what? We're in Queens.
Yes.
So, 50 Cent once said, I got a lot of living to do before I die, and I ain't got time to waste. If you want to reverse a 15, 20, 100-year, 300-year generational curse, you cannot take your time. The time is now. You need to move right this second. Who promised you tomorrow? Your legacy starts today. Whatever it is that God put on your heart to do that immediately. God would never put something in your heart without giving you everything you need to execute it.
Wow.
It's already in you.
Oh wow.
Kendrick Lamar says, look, I ain't got no jewelry on me because I got the jewelry in me. You know what that means? There's a God in you.
Yes.
You can't fail. Just go for it and don't be afraid.
And that,
I'm
ladies and
gonna-
gentlemen, is the quote of today. Forget
Yes.
my little quote.
Forget the quote, Keisha.
today.
Put the phone down.
This is the quote
This is the
master right now.
quote.
We're going to be taking some quotes out of his book this week.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you
for having me.
Oh my
That was a lot to me.
God.
That was a lot.
Guys, until next time on the Motivation Motivation Monday show.
Awesome.
We bring the
Boom, boom, boom.
resources to the table. Share this video. Support him and his brand, because you said he has 20 mouths to feed. And for the ladies, they want to know if you're single. They didn't see a ring on your finger.
Who said
Who said
No,
that?
it don't matter.
Who asked
Tell the
me
people.
that?
Who said that?
Listen.
He's reserved.
is he?
Am I?
Keisha, let the man talk.
Listen.
He's reserved for the one.
I am. I'm in Queens. I'm looking for a queen.
Yes.
In reserve.
But yeah, you know, Jay-Z was at a certain level in his career, but it wasn't until he met Beyonce things took off for him even further. You know what I'm saying?
Further. That's right. You
So
always need.
I'm looking forward to that.
We're looking forward to
wow.
that.
Level
so,
up.
ladies, level up. We're just so happy, glad that you came. You
Very,
came from
very
Connecticut
Yep,
today?
came from Connecticut.
Came from Connecticut.
Hour and a half drive
the
in the
Motivation
rain.
Month. Listen, this show is serious.
Yes.
Support the show. We are now on YouTube. Please hit that
Yes.
subscribe button.
Subscribe, like, share.
Please.
Yes.
Comment.
Gary just uploaded our video, so please support us. We love to have you.
Yo, big shout out to Gary. This man is
Gary.
nice.
Gary.
Jean-Jacques
Yes.
in the building.
Yes.
Sakwa is it Haitian? I knew it. Sakwa Once you heard the Jean-Jacques,
Yeah, Jean-Jacques.
yeah, you know it. You know it.
Guys, thank you so much for watching.
Thank you, everyone.
Yes.
Yeah.
We'll see you next week. Have
Yes.
a fantastic
Oh,
week.
Gary, before we go, Keisha will be here next week. I forgot to tell you guys the last Monday of the
yes,
month,
she's
I will
not
be
here.
on Irie Jam with In Your Business show. So
Oh, yes. what's
listen
my
to
name?
Keisha, but listen to me too. I don't know. Y'all gotta decide.
At 8 o'clock?
8 o'clock. Yes.
They won't be able to see you,
Yes.
Oh, Youth Empowerment
shade.
Show, May 4th. Youth Empowerment
please.
Show,
Youth
May 4th is gonna be in Brooklyn, PS3.
Okay.
The
What
Bedford.
day is May 4th?
May 4th is a Saturday, 12 o'clock, 12 noon, 12 noon.
We,
Okay.
we VIP. We got front row
VIP,
seats.
VIP.
All right.
We got a lot of celebrities coming out, so make sure you're there.
Oh, nice.
Okay, perfect. We in there, Keisha. And I'm sorry. Oh, you guys are late.
Listen.
But the videos will
Shireen says, message received, tuned in at the right time.
There we go.
Right time. I'm telling
We
you.
have some really dope followers,
Really, really
Carl.
dope.
And again, thank you so much
No,
for
thanks for
inviting
having
us
me. I
worthy
appreciate y'all.
of your time. Guys, until next time,
Oh, wait,
we got to
one more
pay some
thing.
bills.
One more thing. On Wednesday, Entrepreneurs on the Move will be right here in Level Up Connections event space. It will
Level
be
up.
phenomenal.
This Wednesday.
Yes, this
This
Wednesday.
Wednesday.
6:30. Register on Eventbrite. It is free.
Free
One of our
dot
community.
com.
Free
yes.
99?
Free 99. And that's one of the things that Keisha does here. She does
Yes.
do some free events
Entrepreneurs
for the
on the
community.
Move will have a few featured entrepreneurs that have been in business for 10 years and plus and always given jewels, gems. Jessica
I'll be
will
here.
be there.
Yes.
Panelists will be moderated by me. Definitely look forward to seeing you all. Have a wonderful evening.
Good night, guys. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye. And
Salute.
Gary will say bye to